It's been 1 year since Marvel Rivals has been released. Marvel Rivals released with a ton of hype. It is an Overwatch style hero shooter game that's in a Marvel Rivals multiverse. On initial release, it was the game that was talked about from its battle pass and the suspect character design, but now it's been nearly a full year to the date. Did Marvel Rivals become the next big live service success, or did it just fizzle out like Overwatch 2? Today, we are taking a look at Marvel Rivals 1 year to see what worked, what didn't, and whether it's still playing. When Marvel Rivals first dropped, there was a lot of mixed reaction from excitement to skepticism. People loved the idea of being able to play as Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Hulk, and Iron Man, and a bunch of deep-cut characters. The gameplay was fast, tactical, and competitive. With the characters having unique abilities and has team-up abilities using certain heroes, which is amazing and such a goated idea, as it wasn't perfect at first. The first thing is the matchmaking. The problem with the matchmaking was criticized for its lopsided matches, making the game so unfair. You could literally have 20 kills with 15k damage and 2 deaths, and suddenly you're 0 for 10 and you don't even have 800 damage. Like, what the hell, bro? And the second thing was the hero bans. Like, some heroes like Iron Man and Squirrel Girls, by the way, I hate her, were just stupidly OP, but the game was pretty good and I was sweating the first season when it come out. Marvel Rivals has done a very good job at constantly updating Marvel Rivals. I love how they constantly updated the heroes, making it balanced and changing the heroes' team-ups and making little tweaks and changes to them. And I like all the maps they have added throughout this year, such as Empire of Eternal Night and the Grand Garden. There are also a lot of big quality of life patches that make the game smoother, such as the movement stuttering, and them having different seasons makes the game so much more interesting, such as the Battle Pass. It keeps the game more interesting as it provides mission and challenges, and once completed, you can earn cosmetics and rewards which are exclusive to Battle Pass owners. If you don't have the Battle Pass, there are still free rewards, but you obviously won't get the Battle Pass reward. And one of my favourite parts of the Battle Pass is it doesn't expire when the season's done. You can continue it when the season is over. Oh yeah, and they also added more heroes every season. No biggie, I guess. This has to be the most exciting part of the new season when they add new characters. There's more diversity in selection, even though they didn't add many support or tank characters, but still. Like, literally, you try and join a game, and oh yeah, I want to pick Human Torch, then no, you can't pick him. And now the community, because a live service game is only as good as its player base, right? 1 year later, Marvel Rivals still has a dedicated core. Not as huge as an initial release, but obviously it's still huge. In December on release, it had an average player of 279,000, which is absolutely insane, and now roughly 1 year later, it has 70k players on average, so it's still pretty gosh darn popular. The community is still also making social media posts and uploading content, which I think is sick. Like, you could go on the Steam community page and there's just drawings and drawings and drawings and drawings. So, how does Marvel Rivals feel after a full year of updates and changes? Honestly, pretty well. The developers did a pretty good job. Yeah, I know, right? The developers did a pretty good job. They got rid of some of the early issues early and balanced a lot of heroes and made certain heroes more difficult than others. The character selection is bigger and more interesting characters, more maps, and the game is pretty competitive now. But being a hero shooter is pretty difficult to keep the player attention up, as it's always a challenge. To continue having its current success, it just needs to continue having updates and adding characters and just doing little tweaks. So 1 year later, is Marvel Rivals still worth playing? Still worth your time? Well, yeah. If you liked it at launch and didn't play it, then didn't play it after, then you will still like it. It's a great game to jump back into. The game is smoother, balanced, and even more refined. If you're new to the game, then it's still a decent shooter with a ton of chaos that brings so much energy. It may be difficult to get into as players are better and you may rage. I definitely didn't rage when I played back. I was just so cool, calm, and collected. Alright, so that's my final verdict. I'm very happy to play this again, but you know, we'll see after a couple months. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, please leave a like. Bye!